Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel for another video on Gran Turismo 7. We're back with another daily race taken from last week's races at Laguna Seca before the update which fixed the tyre model and a slight physics change. So this was a little bit earlier when it was a little bit slower over a lap, and also it absolutely murdered your tyres. Now we are on the American account, starting from the back of the grid, and very usually we do come across some very lively characters when we're on this account. However, recently we've been having some absolutely brilliant battles on the American server, so really enjoying that. We're definitely going to keep doing that because some of the races we've been having with some of the American drivers have been absolutely brilliant the last few days. So there's always one or two, but in general we've had some great racing over there, so we'll definitely keep up with that. But this race, we're starting from the back, P15, you can see there. By the time we get to the corkscrew, you can see we're right behind P14. No real gains on the first lap, no one really made any mistakes. However, as we come through here, P13 has a super close moment there with that car. I don't know how he got away with that. The ghosting system just about ghosted in time, and that promotes us up one position. Now we follow behind this Subaru until the next lap. On lap 2, we're coming up to the corkscrew again, usually a place where a little bit of chaos kicks off because it is a tricky corner. And as we come down here, you can see there's cars all over the place in front of us. Now I decide this looks a bit dangerous, so I back out a little bit here. However, we got cars to the right side all kicking off in front of us, cars going everywhere. We just back out, and luckily, almost like the heavens open there, and we're up to P11. So all them three wipe each other out, and we're now up into P11. So good start to the race in a way, although a little bit of chaos as expected from these daily races. You do come across a little bit of chaos from the back of the grid when going over to the American region, same as the EU as well. A lot of chaos on the EU region as well from the back of the grid. But we're going to skip to lap 3 now, and we're coming up to this Beetle. We're going to have a little look up the inside here, but that we're too far behind there. We're not going to send that into that corner. It's too fast of a corner to really send that up the inside. So we're going to try and see if we can follow through this really fast left-hand corner. And as we come through here, you can see the Beetle makes a mistake, runs wide, and that's going to slow us down. We almost just tap the rear of him and lose a massive amount of acceleration, and we lose a position there back down to P12. So not perfect there on lap 3, but we're going to keep going and see if we can catch up to this battle. We've got a lot of cars in front of us, as you can see as we come through here. We're behind P11, and then as we come through this right hand corner, we're going to try and go around the outside, but it's not going to work, and he holds that position. Now not much else happened there. We're going to skip ahead now to lap 9, and you can see, sorry, lap 5, and we're behind P8. I think a few other cars have pitted. We've managed to overtake the red Porsche that's behind us, but I think a few other cars have pitted there and got the early stop. Now there was a way of doing it, obviously pitting 5 or 6 laps on the mediums and then going on to the hard tire, and P8 has a big moment there. We're going to try and go around the outside, and we managed to go around the outside. He does give us a little tap there, but we get away with that one, and we're actually going to lose a little bit of momentum out of the exit, and P8 gets back into his position there. So yeah, Good racing there. I think it was aggressive, but what he did, but I think it was fair. He just clipped us. I don't think it was anything too nasty. But as we come through, you can see we're going to have to back out of that one again. You can't really send it up the inside there. Going to see if we can go for a move into the corkscrew, but again, I think we're going to be a bit too far behind. We're going to have to be defensive, though, to this red Porsche that's behind us. We can see another Porsche behind us. Might have to be a bit defensive behind that guy as we come through the downhill section there. We managed to get a bit of a gap. P8 goes a little bit out of line there. You can see a bit of a weird line through the corner, and that's going to give us the opportunity to go up the inside and get ourselves up into P8. He gives us a space on the exit, so good racing again with that driver. And then as we come through here, we're going to see that I think there's a bit of battling going on behind us there. You can see a little bit of contact, and as we come through the corner, all 3 of them into the gravel. A little bit of murder there. I think, just don't think it was anything too malicious about it. I think it was just one of them incidents when all 3 cars don't go into one corner. Now we're skipping ahead to lap 7. We're going in the pits, putting the medium tyres on, and we're going to come out the pits on a fresh set of mediums. Now this was the way to do it really for this week before they changed the physics and the tyre model, because 7-7 divide was pretty much the limit of the medium tyre. So the aim here is to try and get an undercut over people going for the 8-6 divide, because some people were going 8 laps on the hard tyre and just giving themselves 6 laps because they weren't able to do the 7-7 split because it was a bit too aggressive on the tyres. But you can see we've managed to catch up on lap 10 to just Theo in front of us. Now this is where things get rather interesting in this video. We've had many incidents with him before. We know what he's like. He's not very clean driver, and as we come through here, you can see we get a nice run on him. We're going to have a little look up at the inside, but we're not going to send that. We just go back over to the normal racing line, try and get a nice tight line on the exit, and we manage to get a really good exit. However, he tries to take us out, pushes us into the wall, and that is the kind of behaviour we've come to expect from Just Theo. But yeah, it'll probably get a lot worse, as you're about to witness. He's going to take it upon himself to try and wipe us out this race totally. So we stay to the inside just in case he tries to punt us there, and then try and take a tight line so that he can't really take us out there. And now we're going to go into this next right-hand corner. And he doesn't actually do anything here. You're going to see he waits for that one. Doesn't go into us there. However, keep your eyes on this one now. As we come up to this right-hand corner, keep your eye in the mirror. And he just deliberately wipes us out again. Just straight into us. Kills himself. Kills us. And yeah, that's 2 wipeouts in space of less than a lap, really, in terms of driven around the track. But you can see he's got a 3-second penalty for that. So he is going to suffer with that one. He's going to get a big 3-second penalty. We've got damage on the 2 right-hand tyres, you can see. Obviously, and again, he takes us out yet again. I think he might have a bit of a problem. Do you lot think that? Let me know in the comment section whether you think he might have a bit of an issue. He's done this many other times before, and it's not even like we race dirty with him. We always try and go around the outside fair like we did before. And you can see we've got engine damage now, and the car is going to suffer massive loss of acceleration and speed. But he did get another penalty for that. So as we come down this straight, you can see he's there taking his 7 seconds worth of penalties, I think it was. And that is us past him. So he's out the way. We don't have to deal with him again in this race, luckily. And we're just going to have to push on and see if we can get any sort of recovery from this race. We've lost nearly 30-40 seconds from that. We managed to get ourselves back up to P8 though. So P8 from that race, not the worst result considering what we had to deal with there. But we're going to go again for another race on Daily Race C. And guess who's back in that lobby? He's there in P8. So we know what to expect. We were told that he's going to do it by someone else. So yeah, we knew that he was going to try and take us out again. He does it pretty much every race we come across him. We've got other footage that I haven't released as a video because I was holding back on stuff. But for this, I thought, you know what? We're going to make this into a video because we actually did some really good tactics to outsmart him in this one. So I'm going to skip up to lap 1 here behind P13 as we're going to try and go for a move on P13, the Porsche driver. And this driver actually lets us through. Fair play to him. He didn't need to do that. You don't ever need to do that. But he obviously didn't want to fight too much. He just wanted to concentrate on his own race. Some people would rather not fight. So we have another driver going off the track, which promotes us up to P12. But like I say, some drivers don't like to battle too much. They just want to concentrate and keep the line smooth and just try and just be as smooth with as little mistakes as possible. He obviously didn't want to fight that one. So we're up to P12. Let's see if we can gain any other positions. Now, as we come through here, we're going to look a little bit in the distance and we see a car going off track there. Chaos in the distance there. And you can see he's nearly gone into the pit lane entry. And that's us up into P11. So not a bad start to this race. We've got a yellow flag here though. So I'm guessing someone's been off on that corner as well. Or that could still be the same yellow flag actually. As we come through this really fast left-hand corner, we're going to get a nice run on the Audi, and that's another position there up into P9. Now we're going to come up to the corkscrew. Let's see if we're going to gain any more positions here as we come through here. You can see yellow car cuts that corner, it looks like. That could be a penalty for P8, but we're going to see if we can go up the inside anyway, or we're going to back out of that one. Too risky to go up the inside from there. And then as we're going to go through this right-hand corner, we're going to try and hang it around the outside. And you can see he actually gives us plenty of space there. So fair driving from that Brazilian. Might not be the fastest driver in the world, but at least he was fair. However, look in the mirror. The Mercedes goes for a massive send, and it all kicks off behind us. And luckily, they all got through there. Luckily, we didn't get taken out in that one as well. So skipping to lap 4 now. Race going okay. We're up to P8, and now we're behind another Porsche driver. And we're obviously on the hard tyres at this phase, so we can again try and go for an undercut with the medium tyres. And the race is going quite well so far, but we haven't come across Just Theo yet, the driver that tried to take us out in the previous race. Let's see what happens as we work our way up the hill here. We get a nice run on P7. Can we go for a move into the corkscrew? Might be possible. We've got the inside line. We're side by side. We both break pretty much similar space. He gives us plenty of space. Nice racing with that guy. Good fair stuff. That's what we want to see. And then as we skip to lap 6 now, you can see we've actually caught right up behind one car away from Just Theo. We've just got the RCZ there, Just Theo in the distance there. So this is going to be sketchy. Now, there was a strategy that I was thinking about at this point in the race. Was it worth risking? As we're going to get a nice run on the RCZ, and as soon as we got this move and going to try and go around the outside of this RCZ, it would all determine whether I went for the strategy or not. Now we're behind Just Theo, and as soon as we're in this position, I decided that it's probably the best decision to go for the very risky strategy of pitting early. Now remember, this was before the tyre model update. Doing 8 laps on mediums was very risky. You can see there, a lot of drivers only doing 6 laps on the mediums and pitting. And that was our tyres at the end of the previous race. The rear right tyre was dead after 7 laps. So let's see if we can manage to make these mediums last 8 laps and get a massive undercut over the driver that was going to try and wipe us out. Now, the outlap, it was all about pushing, so we pushed quite aggressively on the outlap. We were not trying to save tyres on that outlap. It was all about drive quite aggressively. Now, I was a little bit worried here. You can see that as we're coming up behind these drivers, they were going to slow us down, but it looks like Just Dio was starting on the hard tyres to obviously try and help himself in terms of taking us out. However, this is going to be a big undercut. If it works well, we should get quite a nice undercut here. You can see the lap times are not amazing, but they're still faster than what anyone else has been doing in the race, and especially the hard runners. That driver there gives us plenty of space on the apex. We can see Just Dio in the pits there. Now we're going to come to the straight and see if we've managed to get a nice massive jump over him. So this is going to be a tactical race from this point onwards, because we've pushed for the first 2 laps to try and, you know, get a gap. We come up to traffic there, and that traffic did slow us down quite a bit, because obviously we couldn't really overtake them on worn hard tyres and stuff like that. But now we're up into P4 and we're in clean air. You can see that strategy has 100% worked. We are about 5 seconds ahead of Just Dio, and all we've got to do now is just make sure we don't kill our tyres. Now, I know that our pace was quite a bit better, so all we have to do here now is try and conserve the tyre life all the way to the finish, and we're going to use some very helpful tips. So I'm going to point these tips out to you if you're ever in this position again. You know, if one of you are coming across this position where you've had to pit early and you want to save some tyres, sometimes it's best to use some tactics. There is one tactic of not downshifting so much, so try and take some higher gears through some corners and use higher gears on some of the acceleration zones. That will take less, that will put basically less power through the tyre on the rear and save you a bit. Another method is doing what I'm doing here with the fuel mixture. You can see into mixture 2 on the exit and then back up to mixture 1 once we're in a straight line, because when you're turning and accelerating, that's when all that force is going into the rear tyres. So using mixture 2, it's still pretty fast, but it'll just take a little bit of power out of the car and just save that rear tyre ever so slightly. So you can see again, we're doing the same thing there, mixture 2 and then mixture 1 and then back up to mixture 2 here. And also you're going to see we're staying in 3rd gear for this corner, for example. So we're doing double tyre saving here, higher gears and looking after the tyre on the acceleration zones. Again through here, mixture 2 and higher gear. And as we come through the corkscrew, we've been promoted to a podium position from the back of the grid, as a driver has had a bit of a moment there, lost control of his car, and that is us up into P3. So a nice race here. We've definitely outsmarted a certain driver in this race, and now we're going to go again mixture 2, save that rear tyre, and hopefully this will help you out. I'm trying to give you this information, so if you're ever in a similar situation, you can do something very similar. As we come through to the last lap now, and you can see that rear right tyre, we've done a good job at saving it this time, and we might just be able to make this round to the finishing line. It's going to be so close. We're looking after the tyre. You can see that we've got no one to worry about behind us. We've still got a 7-second gap. The lap times have been nothing special. Now, this is one thing that you will have to factor in. You're not going to be lighting up the time sheets. However, what you will be doing is keeping them times consistent and looking after your tyres much better. So again, I'm not even going to bother with mixture 1 at this stage, because I know that that rear tyre is really getting in trouble. So even on like acceleration gear changes through 3rd and 4th, I decided to just use mixture 2 there just to help it out. So again, we're going to go mixture 1 and 2 every now and then though, just to try and boost it up. You can see staying in 4th gear through there. Again, don't want to go in 3rd gear because it will obviously take a bit of life out that rear tyre. We've got to look after every possible bit of tyre life to make this to the end, because these tyres, once they went before the update happened, you had 0 grip. Your car was spinning, sliding, and you'd lose about 20 seconds. So if that happens, we are probably going to finish like down in P6 or something. But at the moment, we've managed to hold it on. You can see we've got probably 1 corner's worth left to grip in that rear right tyre, and it looks like we're going to manage it. You can see I actually felt confident enough to stay in mixture 1 there and not go into the fuel saving, because we've actually done a really good job with that rear right tyre, and we actually bring it home for a podium. A very nice result there from the back of the grid, avoiding a certain person. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. Hopefully you lot enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section what you think about that driving, and I'll see you all for another video in the future. Thanks again for watching, everyone.